Hey everyone, today we're going to be showing you how to install a Tusk UTV full glass windshield on your 2024 and newer Polaris RZR XP 1000. It's going to be the same process for the 2 and the 4-seaters. It's really simple to do. It's going to give you that full protection in front that you're looking for. You also have vents to let air inside the cab when it's hot outside, and you've got a windshield wiper to help clear things off. Along with that, this is super durable. It's made from scratch resistant automotive grade safety glass, so it's high quality. Let's go ahead and get started. To start out, we've got the windshield and all of the hardware laid out in order on our bench. This is going to help us stay organized throughout the process. And we've got the windshield on this rubber mat. If you don't have a rubber mat, you want to use a blanket or something soft that this won't get scratched on. Now, we've laid the windshield down so the outside of it is facing up. You can identify that by the Tusk logo. Then from here, what we can do, we're going to start out by installing the thin 34-inch piece of foam tape across the top section of the windshield. And you're going to have to cut this to length for each of the 3 sections. Okay, so we've got that piece installed. The purpose of the foam tape is to help reduce any vibration. The next thing we want to do is install the 48-inch piece of bulb seal to the bottom of the windshield. Now with this, the channel is just going to go across that frame, and if there's any spots that don't fit tight, you can simply pinch this together, and we're actually going to be tapping it on with a dead blow hammer. You could use a soft face mallet, and then at the very end, if you have any excess material left, you can use some side cutters or heavy duty scissors to trim any extra off. Next, we're going to use the 2 12-inch skinny pieces of foam tape. We're going to flip up the vent doors, and we're going to go around that outside perimeter right here. Next, we can take the 2 24-inch pieces of foam tape. We've already flipped this windshield over, so now we can go down each side with those, starting at the top corner. And again, just make sure you cut any extra off. Next, you can take the thick piece of 34-inch foam tape, and we're going to do the same thing we did across the top. On the outside, we're doing that to the inside now. So this piece is just going to sit against that roll cage. Outside piece is just going to go against a roof if you have one. Now with all the foam tape in place, we can move on to the vent door brackets. We've gone ahead and laid out vent door bracket A, B, and C along with the hardware next to the vent door to make things easy. So we're going to start with vent door bracket A, and this bend is going to be facing away from the center of the windshield. So just like this. Then we're going to take 2 of the smaller bolts that come in the kit. You're going to come from the outside of the window frame, go through that bracket. Then we've got the corresponding nylock nut. And we're going to leave all of the hardware loose until this is all assembled. Now for bracket B, that's going to be the same hardware, and where these bends are, they're going to match up. You want it to look just like that. Now for vent bracket C, this arch is going to face towards you. The bend is going to face towards the inside of the windshield. And we're going to use the 5th small bolt in this location. Go through bracket C, then bracket B. Then thread your nylock nut on that back side. Then we have the hand knob that's going to go in the channel of vent bracket C. We've got a friction washer that's going to sit in between bracket C and bracket A. Thread that in place. And then from here, we need to line all the brackets up and tighten everything down. So I'm going to start at the pivot You want to go till this bolt or the nut lightly seats against the bracket and then back it off about a quarter turn so it can still pivot. And I'm using a 4mm Allen and 10mm wrench to do this. And then for the remaining hardware, I'm going to do it in 2 steps. I'm going to get everything to where it's almost snug so I can barely move things. Once everything's aligned, I'll do the final tightening. With the final tighten, you just want to make sure everything works smoothly. You can do those same steps on the other side. Next, we have the windshield wiper. So we need to remove this plastic plug from the mounting location first. There's 2 little tabs you're gonna have to press in on from the back side. Just use some pliers for that. Next, we have the mount on the handle right now. So we're gonna remove this small nut first, pull the mount off. We'll set the handle aside. And then we have one of the larger nuts. We're gonna remove that along with a washer and a rubber grommet. And you can adjust how much tension is on the wiper with this, as well as if you need to clear a roof or anything else like that, you can adjust the mount in or out. But we're just starting with a neutral position right in the middle. Slide the grommet, the washer, and then reinstall the nut. And we're just going to tighten both of these nuts together. And with the rubber grommets holding everything in place, you probably only need 1 wrench, but this is a 19mm, so if you don't have 2 of those, you can use an adjustable wrench or whatever you have on the back side. You're just snugging this down to help compress that rubber a little bit. Now for the wiper, I'm going to slide out that protective cover. You're going to pinch in on this retaining cover. We've got the wiper arm. I'm going to slide that through and just pull that down onto the wiper, and that's all the way on. Once you pass that detent right there, now we can clip the cover down. You've got a cover over the wiper arm mount, and that's going to be splined to your handle. So I like to line up the handle with the wiper arm. So I'm coming up straight through there. And this is spring loaded here, so you're going to have to press down on it. Line up those splines. Pull up on the cover, and we've got that small nut on the outside. Then we just need to snug that down with our 10mm wrench. And pop the cover down. At the machine, if you have a roof, you want to start by loosening up that hardware. We're going to remove ours completely. And then if you have any other accessories on your A-pillars that are going to get in the way of installing your windshield, you want to make sure you have those removed. We have these mirrors installed, but the way the brackets mount up, they're not going to be in the way, so we're going to leave them. Now on our machine, we have the Tusk roof, and if you have one of these, you're going to want to loosen up to the 4th bolt back, and that's going to allow the roof to raise up enough for us to slide the windshield in. Next, we're going to install the lube clamps next to the bottom of the A-pillar, and this flat section, that's going to be facing the outside of the machine. And then we also need to remove the center portion of our hood using our T40 Torx bit. Next, I'm going to have a friend help me set the windshield in place. You're going to tuck this underneath the front section of the roof, and you're going to have to push up on it a little bit, and then you can roll the front side of the windshield down, and you're going to slide it down into the groove on the dash. Next, we're going to take 2 of the M6 by 25 millimeter button head bolts. So these are the smaller 2 of the remaining bolts. We're going to use the M6 washers, put on those. We're going to go through the front side of the windshield, through both sections of the loop clamp, and then we've got the nylock nut on the back side. We're going to leave the hardware loose. Now for these upper bolts, you're going to take your M8 by 30 millimeter button head bolt if you don't have a roof, but if you do have a Tusk roof, it came with an M8 by 35 millimeter button head bolt. In either case, you're going to use an M8 washer, put that on there. You're going to go through the roof, through the windshield, and then you've got a spacer in between the windshield and the gusset in the roll cage. Slide the bolt all the way through those, and then you've got your M8 nylock nut on the back side. Now from here, we can adjust the windshield from side to side and up and down. You want to make sure that everything's centered up and that you have a tight seal across the bottom of that bulb seal. Once you have it where you want it, you can go ahead and tighten down all of your hardware. Now, if you did have to remove the center portion of your hood, you can go ahead and reinstall it. After that, you want to reinstall any of your roof hardware that was previously removed, get all of that tightened down, and install any other accessories that you had to remove. That's it for installing your Tusk UTV full glass windshield on your 2024 and newer Polaris RZR XP 1000. Again, this is going to be the same process for the 2 and the 4-seaters. If you need one of these, they are available on our website. You can click the link in the description below. That's going to take you over there. Now, if you have any questions about the install process, you can leave those down in the comments. And if you want to see more helpful content like this, subscribe to our channel. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thanks for watching.